Hey friends, it's Mary and I'm back today with a fun tutorial for you. If you're doing a December Christmas album and you want a divider in it, I'm creating a really fun number divider out of acetate. So it'll be a shaker divider. But first, what I'm going to do is take a piece of white American Crafts textured cardstock and I'm going to put some SHIMMERZ products down. I'm also going to do this on vellum. And you'll see me punch some stars out of the colors, and I'm using several different colors and the SHIMMERZ in a pot. So these are the original SHIMMERZ paints. They already come wet, and I've also mixed in some with some white pasties. And so the colors that I'm using today are the Moulin Rouge and Buddy's favorite color. I used some of the bluegrass, and the color that I'm using there, that's actually a SHIMMERZ Dazzlers, and that color is See You in the Morning. So here I'm mixing in the bluegrass in with the white pasties, and the white pasties isn't called white pasties, it's called Salt of the Earth. So, and then I think I added some of the gold, but that didn't really work out. So we'll just pretend I didn't do that. So some of them I did add to the pasties and some of them I just put straight on. And I love the texture that it gave. And also the different varieties of colors. And I'm just adding a little bit more texture to it. That's why you see me kind of scraping it differently. And the die cuts that I'm going to use and the punches that I'm going to use, you can barely even tell that I did the texture on it, but that's okay. At least, see, I haven't really played with the SHIMMERZ in a pot colors that much yet, so really what I was doing is just playing around and getting a feel for what I could do with it. And then at the bottom there, you see me using the gold. And I think that was, what, Minor 49er? Is that what it's called? Oh, I'm looking it up for you. Whoops. Can't find it. Oh well. Yeah, it's one of the gold colors that I used. So now that I've done with that, I'm going to let that dry. And now what you see me doing is I've printed off a large number 2. Just on regular printer paper, and I'm using this as a stencil, and I've taken my 6x8 page protector. That's the size of my Christmas album, and I'm calling it Christmas Stories because I'm not doing a December daily. That's way too daunting for me. But what I've done is I've just done this big giant number 2, and I'm going to literally fuse around. And the biggest tip that I can give you, if you're working like this with an odd shape and not just straight angles, is to slide the actual page protector and not move your hand that's holding the fuse tool. Every once in a while I'll have to move my hand with the fuse tool, but most of the time I'm sliding it around. And I used that craft mat because it was really easy to slide. That page protector didn't stick anywhere. And so once you're done with that, you just want to leave an opening and trim around the excess around the outside. And that's how you make a fun shaped shaker pocket. You can do any shape that you want to. If you wanted to make a reindeer, you could do that. I would suggest, so the only difficulty that I had with the shaker pocket is that where the number 2 became skinny around that neck of the number 2, it was really hard to add anything bigger than a sequin, and even the sequins kind of got clogged up there, but I just used a skewer and was able to push the sequins through. So if you're using anything skinny, then just make 2 openings and not just the one, because I went ahead and I punched out these stars, but then I went ahead and I die cut some more stars, and I really wanted to put the die cut stars in, but the die cut stars were probably a 1/2 inch, and I couldn't fit them through that skinny neck part, so I had to omit that. But I really loved the vellum and the cardstock, the 2 different, because you could see through the vellum, and it gave it a really nice texture inside the shaker pocket. Okay, so what I did next is I took a little bit of glue with my fine liner bottle. This is just Scotch quick dry adhesive. And because I used the white cardstock and I had only done one side of the cardstock with the shimmers, I went ahead and I glued those two die cuts back to back so that you could see, you wouldn't have any white space on one side. You could leave it white and have some be white and some be colored, and I think it would be really cute, but I really wanted the color on both sides, and I didn't really necessarily want any white. So this is just what I did. So I'm going to go ahead and put all of those little pieces together back to back, and then I'll have double-sided shimmery stars, and it turned out really, really cute. And then I have this leftover mix of medium stars and some little stars and vellum stars, and it just looked really, really cute. And I really wish I would have been able to get those die cuts in, but I do end up using them. I did end up using them last week on my Traveler's Notebook insert. So I told you guys that I would have that tutorial on how to make those stars, and here you have it. You just put it on some cardstock and cut it out. So once I do that, I'm grabbing the Shabby Chic sequin mix, and I dumped the entire thing in there. I love that mix. It's a perfect color. And at first I tried to use a little funnel for the stars and everything. It just got clogged up. So I figured it was just best to try to shove it in as best as I could with my hands and just dump it in. And it made a huge mess. But other than that, that's all I did. I ended up fusing it at the end, and to make sure that it didn't, come out, because that would be either horrible or a really awesome surprise if you're a kid and you're like, yay, confetti! When I was a kid, I made, I remember my cousins and I, we took a bunch of scrap paper and just made our own confetti for one New Year's Eve, and that's what we did from like 10 o'clock until midnight. We made our own confetti. It was ridiculous and fun, and I don't even know why I just thought about this. Probably because it's the holidays and I'm making a mess. So I'm just going to go ahead and play some Christmas music. I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever it is that you may be doing. If you're spending it with family or if you're just spending it with me right now, I just want to, from the bottom of my heart, wish you a Merry Christmas, and I hope that your Christmas dreams come true.